Hi friends, I just wanted to chat today about something I noticed about myself when making videos. Of course, I have all the bad habits of what not to do when presenting. I guess part of the reason is because I'm not used to talking into a camera. Um, this is kind of my first experience, and part of the reason why I started this was so that I could kind of look at myself and see where I have bad habits, maybe, or where I could work on myself in my presentation skills and whatnot. But it's a lot of it, I guess, is just a lack of feedback or response. And so I kind of panic sometimes, or in my mind at least, uh, probably unconsciously half the time, but it's very uncomfortable for me and it's not something I'm used to. But I guess that's very common for everyone. Anyways, that's not the part I wanted to talk about because it's pretty obvious, but I guess the part I wanted to talk more about was how I seem to always dance around the fact that I will potentially become the owner of the company that I work at. And in in reality, a lot of these video recordings are so that I could record myself, especially when I first join this company, which I will probably take over, but I can't seem to commit to it, or at least the way I speak, I always use the word like potentially or probably or something to not commit. And I think there's a few reasons for that. Number one, I just don't want to sound uh, like, I don't know, bad. Just as though I'm assuming that I'm going to take over, as though I feel like that's awkward, and for some reason I feel that that's a bad thing. And in reality, maybe it isn't, or maybe it's something I just need to kind of put into habit of being okay with saying that I will take over, because it is a form of commitment. And putting aside the fact that it does sound like uh, a really spoiled assumption to make, even because nothing's guaranteed. But at the same time, dancing around it could also be seen, I feel like, as not committing to a responsibility that I have decided to embark upon. I mean, the fact that I'm making these videos too is part of that commitment in my mind. So I guess for me, number one, I just, without really thinking too much about it, I just didn't want to sound really bad saying I will take over. But maybe I should change that. We'll see. But I guess another part is that I didn't want to kind of put into words an assumption that I will take over, because I think that could also have negative influence on myself. Because what I speak is what I hear myself too, and that's a stimulus that could potentially, if not put in check, I could become very. It could it could develop into a bad mentality or behavior on my part, making assumptions and feeling more than I really am or capable of, or you know, just I don't want to have a bad habit of thinking that I'm more than I really am. I guess, is the bottom line. And I feel that if I start commenting in a way that I'm assuming I am going to take over, then unless I'm careful, it could turn out badly. But again, back to the point I made in regards to my first comment, is that at the same time, I am committing. So I guess part of my responsibility for becoming a leader and taking over the company is to make sure that I put myself in check and I am responsible for my own mentality in regards to the position and privilege that I will have and how I utilize it and interact with the people. So yeah, just a thought I had, and I'll think about how I word things in the future. I mean, I know it's not something I need to really think about or care about too much with these videos, because it's more for myself, but at the same time, I think it's important, even in these small places, that I use to self-reflect for myself, to make sure I have the right habits and behaviors and mentality for the responsibility that I will be taking on in the future. Anyways, just my thoughts. Yeah. Thanks for listening. I'll share more thoughts again another time. See ya.